Hey everybody, this is Rob,
And Jeremy.
and you're listening to No Good Music. We're on show 70, and we're going to kick it off with some music. And here we go.
She was kind and held a wisdom like no other. Her words echo deep inside my heart. We're never apart.
My grandfather, he was so proud of his family and his honor. He worked the land and worked his sons and daughters. He lived with honor.
Even though some leaves are gently falling, we all know new trees will grow. Our family tree becomes an orchard calling for us to sing their song. Their memory goes on.
We stitched.
And that was a song called The Orchard. And if one of the voices sounded familiar, Jeremy I probably told him already. I think I did.
I don't know if you did tell me, but it almost sounded like Macy Gray.
It's Dolly Parton
Oh, that's right. You did tell me that.
Yeah.
I lied.
and her niece, JADA Star. And that's off the unprecedented historical project called Dolly Parton and Family, Smoky Mountain DNA. Long title, Family, Faith, and Fables. I don't know if they can get that all on the album cover. The album comes out November 15th via Virgin Music Group in collaboration with Opar Entertainment. I want to thank Jim Flamia. He's given us some bands in the past. He's with All Eyes Media. He gave us permission to play part of that song. So, as you might have guessed, it's a bluegrass album. And my friend Mark loves bluegrass. And I kind of like bluegrass. I don't. Jeremy, you probably don't.
In spurts, I can tolerate it. It's not one of my favorite genres, but it's also not the worst genre, you know?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, I really like.
But I can't listen to it for like hours and hours or something like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. So Dolly wrote the title track, Smoky Mountain DNA, specifically for this project. Serves as an overarching theme that celebrates the musical roots and heritage of her family. So every artist on this album is related to Dolly. Like I said, JADA Star, who you heard in the beginning, is her niece. And so it's a pretty cool thing. Let me see here. Oh, and by the way, we're not editing this podcast time wise. And the full track listing was announced on August 23rd, revealing the full lineup. So the project will be available on vinyl and CD and via digital download and streaming. There's a special Appalachian Autumn colored vinyl. I assume that's maybe, what do you think that? Orange, brown? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out.
Limited run of 3,363. Which is the coordinates of the family's Tennessee mountain home in Locust Ridge, Tennessee. It's
Oh, wow, that's kind of cool.
36 degrees north and 83 degrees west. And Smoky Mountain DNA will shine a spotlight on the enduring legacy of two families, Dolly's paternal Parton family and her mother's family, the Owens. And the project traces their origins from the United Kingdom in the 1600s to their home today in the Great Smoky Mountains of East Tennessee. It's produced by Dolly's cousin, Richard Owens, and the album features songs performed by various members of Dolly's immediate and extended family, spanning generations. Some tracks include voices of beloved family members who have passed, alongside contemporary contributions from today's generation. Now, there are a whopping 37 songs on this album.
Wow.
And if you're into bluegrass, you love this album. Jeremy will probably listen to the first 3 songs and then he's done. I'll probably listen to the first 10, maybe. No. I'll listen to this. I like Dolly, and wasn't real crazy about her last album, the rock and roll album, but so there you go. And up next we have we're going to do some trivia, and it's a new segment. So we're going to take a very short break. Okay, we're back.
That was the No Good Music Band.
Yeah. No, I like this because we're doing it like we're doing a live podcast, which we're not. We are live. We're alive. We're breathing.
Yes, finally for me. Good God. I was down for like 10 days for people who don't know. Poor Rob's been trying to schedule this for weeks.
Yeah, we are not in the same room today. Jeremy's at his house. I'm at mine. And but I want to get this. I want to put this out in a couple days. So, and I'm like really, I work from home now, and I don't know. I think I'm busier now than I was before, which is good. Tonight I've got to work on some stuff for work after this, and
it's not a bad thing, right?
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do trivia. What we have, and you're going to hear some pauses in this because I'm trying to, I don't know, I have a problem bringing up my files. I'm down to using my Amazon Fire, by the way, because my laptop just, I don't know, it went kaput. The power cord went, like, it just stopped working, the power cord, for some reason.
Jeez.
I don't know. Let's see here. Get it together. You're going to hear pauses. Jeremy can sing or something while I look up stuff here. What am I doing? Why is this not working? Okay. See, this is the stuff you don't hear. Me complaining about my...
that could be an episode in and of itself.
Yeah, my equipment here. Okay.
Like one of those Seinfeld, the remix where they're just showing all the comedy pieces. You just be like, damn computer, my notes,
So this is with bloopers, this show.
Yeah.
What is that noise? Oh, there's emergency in town.
Oh.
So this is our new segment called, I had to come up with a name, of course. Sounds familiar.
Okay.
Get it? Sounds familiar.
Oh, I get it. I got it.
So we have like a line or two lyrics, and we each have to guess what song. And it can't be an obscure song. It has to be something so our listeners can play along. Now, do you want me to go first, or you want to go?
Yeah, I'm curious to see kind of where you're going to go with this. I've got 5 on me. I just don't know if I went too long because I picked like 2 or 3 lines, or if I just want to make sure I'm on the right page. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Okay, here's the first one for Jeremy. Waste your summer praying in vain.
No idea.
Listeners, do you know? You want to tell you?
Yeah.
It's Thunder Road, Bruce Springsteen.
Okay.
That's a familiar song. We don't have to get them all right. It's just kind of, pulling some stuff out that you're like, that's in the song. That's what he's saying.
Right.
Right. Okay.
All right. So I've My first one. Got a beat up glove, a homemade bat, and brand new pair of shoes.
Is that John Fogerty? Center field.
It is, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, next one. We are the hungry ones on a lightning raid.
I don't know.
You're going to kick yourself. It's Animal, Def Leppard.
Ah,
Even when I was looking at the lyrics, I'm like, that's what lightning raid. What's a lightning raid?
yeah, I didn't know that. But We Are the Hungry Ones sounded familiar. So when I first heard that, I'm like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So my next one is, but that's me stumbling away, slowly learning that life is okay.
It sounds familiar, but I don't know.
Take on Me.
Oh.
Aha.
Okay, here we go. Champagne for breakfast and a Sherman in my hand.
Hmm. It's so funny because without the context, it's just so difficult.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you feel like we do, Peter Frampton?
Champagne for breakfast.
And a
Sherman in my hand. Yep. Ah, all right. My next one. See, maybe I made mine a little too easy. I don't know. Her friends are so jealous. You know how bad girls get. Sometimes it's not so easy to be the teacher's pet.
See, I know that lyric, but I can't think of the song.
Yep. It's The Police. Don't stand so close to me.
Okay. My son's taking a shower, by the way, so if you hear water. Okay.
I don't hear it. I don't know about the listeners, but
Okay. We got the door closed. Okay. This one I think you'll get. Pay for every dance, selling each romance. He used to be
the Rolling Stones?
No.
No.
You want to tell you?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just a Gigolo, David Lee Roth.
David Lee Roth.
Or the original, which was, who was that? Yeah, who did the original?
All right, we have
Louis Prima. I think, did that.
Father wears his Sunday best. Mother's tired and needs a rest. The kids are playing up downstairs.
That is Madness. Our House? Is that?
Yep.
Okay. Don't always know what I'm talking about. Feels like I'm living in the middle of doubt. Could be any song. 18, Alice Cooper. Is that it?
It's funny because after you say who it is, I can hear it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But before then, I just kind of they're words. All right, my last one.
Okay.
There ain't no telling who you might meet. A movie star or maybe even an Indian chief.
The Kinks? No,
I'm going to try again.
I don't know.
Rolls Royce car wash.
Oh. That's kind of an obscure one. But...
Oh, sorry.
No, that was good, though. We'll have to do that again. Okay, so that ends that segment. And let's see. Next. What do we got next? we have music news. So again, we will be right back. And we're back. And we have...
These feel like Saturday Night Live segments with the band like playing real quick.
Yeah. I think we should do this when we're together too, because then we can...
Yeah.
Then I won't have to keep switching my mic off, by the way.
Well, then we could take a drink too.
Yeah. And if anyone knows how to utilize Zoom and sound effects, let me know, because I have to keep turning my mic off so that Jeremy can hear the music and it can actually record, because I tested it out. And with my mic on, you can kind of hear it way in the background. I don't know how. It's not playing off of anything. But anyway.
Right.
Okay, so we have some music news. And Dua Lipa, she is reportedly set to launch her ice cream company.
Okay, I love that.
Oh, have some sound effects. I'll get in there. She's reportedly awaiting a license to protect her name as a brand for the marketing of dessert products. I'm looking forward to this because I really like ice cream, and I like dessert products. Jeremy, you like dessert products, right?
Yeah.
You like ice cream. Yeah. Everybody does.
Yeah.
So let's see. She's embarked on several enterprises in the last couple of years, and she launched her global style arts and culture newsletter, Service 95, in 2022. Also, she launched a podcast series the same year called Dua Lipa at Your Service. And now she is expanding her business empire further and preparing to launch her own range of ice cream desserts, according to a report by The Mirror.
It's the biggest thing, in my career.
Thank you, Dua. Dua's here with us. The application covers the sale of non-dairy ice cream cones, dairy ice cream desserts, ice cream cakes, a lot of ice cream drinks, along with milkshakes and yogurts. Wow. I wonder if the local grocery store will have the Dua. They'll probably have a big display. Yeah, Dua Lipa. They should do something where when you go up to the freezer doors, she looks like she's in there trying to get out or something. Yeah. And it's not yet clear when we can partake in her delicacies. So stay tuned for that one. You have any news stories, Jeremy?
I do, actually. I'm wondering, we didn't talk about this, but I've been telling you, I've been dying to see Green Day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know if you heard, but in Detroit, they actually got pulled off of the stage during the show.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
An unauthorized drone started filming them, and there was some concern. So the band actually got off the stage right in the middle of Longview during that guitar solo part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Left the stage for about 10 minutes, came back and finished the song from the guitar solo part, and then finished out the show. But yeah, that was an eye-opener, if nothing else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess they, with a drone, you never know if there's explosives on it. How do you get a drone into the... I don't think the security was doing their job. But the pat down, unless the person was wearing a heavy coat or something. So
yeah, I guess too they got to a point where when they got back on stage, they kind of asked people, "Hey, put away your cell phones for the stage moment." And I think that's again a safety thing. If somebody was controlling it from their phone, or to your point, explosives, just trying to be safe, but also they had some fun with it. They were like, no MFer is gonna stop this show, or however they said it. I guess they pretty much told the fans, we're not done no matter what. So that's pretty cool.
It's funny how they It looks like they pulled the bass player off first. Like, it's weird because he went running off the stage and then I don't know.
Right.
Did you say they came back? Did they come back to play?
They came back and finished the show, yeah.
Okay, good.
There's about a 10-minute delay, but still interesting. I mean, I've never seen or heard anything like that before, so it definitely caught my eye.
Mm-hmm. So this I wrote up like a week or two ago, but you know, by now people have heard of Oasis. Big news. It's getting back together. I am an Oasis fan. I actually have listened to Noel and Liam's solo albums. You know, they've been still putting out music. People don't know. I saw one comment on Facebook that person that had no clue who Oasis was, and I think it was in a music group. I always think people should know if you're in the music. You know, I don't know. You don't. I guess you don't have to. Depends on when you were born, too. You know, I mean,
if they're around us,
yeah.
If they're around us, we should go see them.
Well, they've only announced Wales, England, Scotland, and Ireland. So I'm thinking, Jeremy, we go to Ireland next year.
There you go. All right.
Yeah. So they're finally reuniting. I mean, the brothers have, you know, that's the thing. It's family, you know, even if you're not in a band, you know, the family fights. But imagine you're in a band, a famous band, and what are you going to do? You can't stand each other, you know?
Right.
Not about the money, is it? You know what I mean?
What? Is that Liam? No. I get them mixed up anyway. Liam and Noel.
Yeah.
I always think of Noel. Well, this is the thing. I think of Noel as like Noel, like Christmas, happy, so I think of him as the nicer one. And then
right.
Liam is the more, but I think they're both angry now. Well, now they're not angry because it's been 15 years. And so tickets already went on sale. And that was another thing with, I guess, Ticketmaster, like shut down because of the ticket sales.
Wow.
I always wanted to see them at least once. You know, I don't think they're the most exciting band. I really don't. Like live, I would imagine them being, you know, they're not running around the stage. They're not, you know, but, and there's always this thing that they wanted to be the Beatles. And I truly believe that's what, like at least Liam believes. If you go on YouTube, look up the interview at Liam, and it's outside where he's walking along his property, I guess. And I don't know, it's like 30 questions or something. And the guy asked him, who would you want to be other than yourself? And he says, John Lennon. So there you go. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I have other Green Day news, Jeremy. Believe it or not. I don't know if you know about this, but to celebrate the 20th anniversary of American Idiot, Green Day came out with their own Keurig coffee maker. I had the pictures.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's dubbed the Keurig X Green Day American Idiot Anniversary Edition Brewer Bundle. Oh, that's the Brewer Bundle. It officially was made available August 20th. It's already sold out. Can't get it. The price was $159.99. So that is actually affordable because I have the same Keurig, not the Green Day, but I have the same style and everything, which I got recently because I had to replace an older one, and probably paid $130 for it. So this is kind of cool. It's got lyrics on the side. It can make 8, 10, or 12 ounce brews. I think that's the standard. And what do you get in the bundle besides the brewer? You get a limited edition custom iced coffee tumbler. It says keep your brew ice cold with the Punk Bunny iced coffee tumbler. Now I was confused because it looks like a plastic cup to me with a lid on it. I showed it to my wife, and she's like, "Well, that's what they call a tumbler." So I don't know. You also get 12 Punk Bunny Sound Check coffee pods. That's the brew. Punk Bunny Sound Check. It says this fair trade organic dark roast will get you up out of your seat and safe from drones. No, I just added that. Let's see. But now you can go on eBay and you can get it between $400 and $900 people are selling it for. So if you're a real Green Day fan, you can do that. So those are do you have any other news?
No, that was it.
Okay. The only other thing I wanted to mention was two more rock or like legendary like rock people that are getting up there in age where health is caught up to them, which is first of all Elton John. He had an eye infection and now he's partially blind. I think they said in one eye. Yeah. And then the guy, trying to think of his name, the guy from Queen, the guitarist for Queen. Okay. Well, he had a mini stroke, and Queen has.
Oh God, that's not.
Queen has been performing. Brian May. That's his name, Brian May. Why not?
Brian May. There you go.
Having a music brain fart. Yeah.
Yep.
So he's recovering, luckily, but I think he's like 77. Like Elton John's up there too. So we wish them luck. I wish them, speedy recovery. Strokes, nothing. Both of them, eye infection. There's nothing you can really do with eye infection. And a stroke, you want to be careful. You don't get back there on the road too soon. And
Right.
have another stroke. Okay, so up next, if I can get my Nook working here. Okay, so we're going to take another little break here, and when we come back, we're going to talk about new music releases. Okay, we're back. And so I'm going to start with some reissues and compilations. So these aren't like new. Let's see here. We've got September 20th. We got Bob Dylan and the band, which I mentioned before, so I'm mentioning it again. The 1974 live recordings. We got Fleetwood Mac Mirage Tour 82 live coming out September 20th. September 28th, we got Lou Reed, Why Don't You Smile Now? Lou Reed at Pickwick Records, 1964 to 65. October 4th, we got Joni Mitchell Archives Volume 4, The Asylum Years. 1976 to 80. That's on Rhino. Rhino likes to release, they're releasing the Fleetwood Mac one too. So if you go on Rhino Records, they have a lot of good, like older re-releases, reissues, especially on vinyl. October 25th, Brian Ferry, retrospective selected recording 73 to 2023. So what's that? That's 50 years. I
Yeah.
don't know, I don't know how big that is. But Brian Ferry's from Roxy Music. And we got Green Day, American Idiot, 20th Anniversary Deluxe Edition. I don't know what's on that, but maybe some demos and stuff. Who knows? Let's see. And then we have some new music. I'm going to skip over Paris Hilton because, Paris Hilton has a new album out. Oh, I did want to mention something. Jeremy and I, we collect autographs. Not only go to shows, but we like to collect signed CDs. I collect some vinyl, but I'll rather buy the CDs sometimes. But the prices mostly are not more than the actual CD. You got to pay the shipping. Like Dua Lipa put in a signed insert. It was like $15. COLDPLAY, I ordered the whole band, But I noticed one person who no one gave her a memo on what you should be charging, and it's Avril Lavigne. She's putting out a new vinyl signed, and it's like $150 for a signed vinyl. But even Paris Hilton, you can get a signed CD.
I'll take 10.
For like 15. Of what, Avril Lavigne?
Yeah.
So, and I'm going to say a lot, people. Get used to it. Okay. Unfortunately, and I'm going to talk about this, Katy Perry is putting out a brand new album. I say unfortunately. It's called 143. And it's the number which she considers her symbolic angel number. I didn't know angels had numbers, but apparently they do. Now, this will be her 7th and hopefully final album. Ironically, each of her songs was written by an average of 7 people. Isn't that ironic? Yeah. The album cost $2 million to make and $3 million in food and snacks for the songwriters. I just made
Wow.
Yeah. So there's 2 singles out already. Now I did listen to the one, Lifetimes. It's a good, fun video. But I'm going to sum it up so you don't have to watch the video. But I don't know. Once I mention this, Jeremy, you may want to watch the video. Okay. There's 5 words. Bikini, beach, motorbike, clubbing, and pizza are all in the video.
Okay.
Now, I played this for a couple of friends of mine, and her voice is so over manipulated that they asked me if I was singing the song, and I can't really sing. Yeah, I don't like Katy Perry, and we usually tell you about good stuff, good music. I mean, maybe you like Katy Perry. I know a friend, I'm not going to mention his name, and he loves Katy Perry. And maybe he doesn't like Dua Lipa like I do. Maybe he hates Taylor Swift, too. Yeah.
Wow.
This is the thing. Katy Perry, right? I think she's overstayed her 15 minutes of fame. Because back in the 80s, if you had one good album and then 6 crappy albums, no one remembered you. Jeremy, tell me who Stacey Q is. You know who Stacey Q is? Say?
Nope.
Stacey Q has like 5, 6 albums out. Her first album, I think, had her hit song on it. And we don't know who she is. Why do we know who Katy Perry is still? That's what I'm saying. Oh, she had four more bad albums. Sorry. Yeah. So.
I just think that everybody is gifted and talented in their own way.
Nice. Thank you, Katie. That's Katie. Okay, enough about Katie. September 27th. Oh no, we got Michael Bublé, the best of Bublé. So look out for that one. I don't know if you've heard of this band, Sunflower Bean.
No.
Yeah, it's a band. They have an EP called Shake, and the title track's pretty good. There's like fuzz guitar, and what I like is alternating lyrics between Julia, her name is Julia Cumming, and Nick Kivlin. They're both the singers, main people in the band. Very cool sounding song, kind of like Jesus and Mary Chain, if you know who they are. Kind of not industrial, but like a poppy industrial sound to it. The second single is Touch Me to Be Bad. But I think this album will be like one of these EPs where I'm going to listen to it and want more songs, because I really love the title song so far. The band's from Brooklyn, and the lead singer plays bass. Who doesn't like a female bass singer? And then we have 2 albums coming out in October that I'm actually excited about. Really excited about. It's Coldplay. Yes, I love Coldplay. October 4th. Be their 10th studio album titled Moon Music. And, you know, that I imagine all U2 haters also hate Coldplay. But so they released 2 singles so far. Feels Like I'm Falling in Love, which is all one word. I think their last album had symbols instead of song titles. They like to do quirky little things. And the other single is We Pray, not to be confused with the MC Hammer song Pray. You know, we got to pray to make it today. Remember that one? That hit. Now, the first single is just okay. I actually like the song We Pray much better. And there's Chris Martin he has like sort of a rap. Like he's sort of rapping. You know, say smooth rap maybe. Right? And there are there's another rap artist or a guest rapper on the song too. I'm not crazy about rap, but it actually goes with this song. There's orchestrated like strings in this song. It's a very interesting song. Oh yeah, we got so Jeremy, we have the guest rappers are Little Sims, Burna Boy. I know you like him, and Alania and Teeny.
Boy?
Burna Boy, yeah, Burna Boy, rapper. And
Okay.
and then we have, I'm not joking, a band that Jeremy likes is The Offspring with their new album.
Yes.
Did you listen to that song? The new song? Yeah.
I did. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
So this is their 11th studio album. And now they have a new drummer. Now, I'm not familiar with the band members. Maybe Jeremy is, but they have a new drummer, Brandon Hertzborn. And I have here, this guy is so young, I have t-shirts older than him. Maybe a couple pairs of underwear. John Freese, their former drummer, left the band to join the Foo Fighters. Yes.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially, I mean, yeah, the Foo Fighters they're constantly touring too. Good money there.
Yeah.
Now, the first single, which I have now heard 100 times because I listen to a rock radio station part of the day, but they play this like every day. And it's Make It All Right. And it sounds like Blink 182 mixed with like Bowling for Soup, Offspring 182 Soup, maybe. And, you know, all those 90s bands kind of sound the same. Not all. Now, there's a girl talking at the very beginning, and there's a band called Wet Leg, which I have mentioned. I know Jeremy knows I've mentioned Wet Leg before, and but the girl, everybody thinks it's her because the way she's talking in the beginning. She says, "All I want to do is fly away with you," or something like that, right? And she says it a couple times in the song. But I did some investigative research on this, and her name is Rebecca, and I'm going to say this wrong, Sochet, Shoichet.
Okay.
And she is a voiceover artist, and mainly for My Little Pony, as
Nice.
Sunset Shimmer, who is a unicorn, if you're wondering. So that's the voice.
My favorite show.
Yeah, I knew it. The album's 10 songs, 32 minutes and 15 seconds. Just right.
Yeah, the last album was only like 35, 36 minutes too, if memory serves correct.
I have a band for you, Jeremy, who I've liked for a little while. And October 25th, they come out with a new album. And it's Emil and the Sniffers. Yeah, Emil and the Sniffers.
Okay.
Cartoon Darkness. Yeah.
What?
I think I discovered this band last year. Now their music is called Australian Pub Punk. And we're not talking punk like Green Day, because Green Day, yeah, I guess you could call Green Day punk, but it's like pop punk. This is like raw, edgy. Now the new single is You Should Not Be Doing That. And I love the video. The video is lead singer Amy Taylor and Stephen Ogg. Or Stephen Ogg from Walking Dead.
From The Walking Dead?
Yeah. They're like running, dancing, singing. They're just covering a lot of miles in the video outside. They're running around LA. I figured out. Stephen Ogg, he's in shorts and no shirt most of the video. And she's wearing like hot pants and a bikini top. They end up at a club towards the end. They start slam dancing. It's a wild video. They're along some road and he's giving her a piggyback ride. The video is just wild, especially with Stephen Ogg in it. It's the way they're like moving and dancing, and it reminds me of the videos from from the 80s. Not just people don't put a lot into videos anymore, I think. So there's not a lot going on here, but it's just interesting video, and it actually it's one of those that goes along with the song. Just and then we have one last one. It's Soccer Mommy, Evergreen, and I really liked her album from 2020 called Color Theory. Circle the Drain, that was a great song. Her new single is called M, the letter M. Very moody. I have your low-key moody girl. The videos, there's another one. The video is really cool. It's made to look old, blurry. Colors are off. It looks like it was like if you filmed the video with a old, like, I don't know if you remember the term camcorder.
Oh, yeah.
Video recorder. Yeah. So that's, I don't know if you have any other music you were listening to recently, Jeremy.
Not that I've been listening to. I was interested. I thought that I saw that Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers had a new album coming out.
A new album with Tom Petty?
And I don't know when. So I was looking forward to that. Obviously, Tom Petty's no longer with us, but I was curious to see.
I was afraid to tell you. I didn't know if you knew or not.
Yeah, no, I did know that, but I'd be curious to see what the Heartbreakers have in mind
Mm-hmm.
as far as putting something out.
Well, if you look up the band, it's Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs. Their last album. I think it's called External Combustion. Great album. And if you want to get the closest to Tom Petty without trying to really imitate him, is Mike Campbell. Mike Campbell wrote a lot of the hit songs with Tom Petty, and Mike Campbell sounds like Tom Petty, like a little bit like Tom Petty, and he plays guitar. He played like lead guitar in the Heartbreakers. So
nice.
And that was from a couple of years ago. I was hoping he'd come out with. They tour now and then, but I was hoping he'd come out with something. Another album soon. Okay, so next up, we have album anniversaries. And we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. And what we always do is album anniversaries. We start with 1974. And we have some music news. October 5th, 1974, AC/DC performs its first official show with Bon Scott as its new lead singer. And it doesn't say where. October 18th. Now this one's a sad and odd story. Al Green. I'm trying to think of the Al Green song. Let's spend some time together, or something like that. Right?
Yeah, it sounds familiar. Yeah.
So Al Green is attacked while bathing, while he's in the bathtub, by his girlfriend of only several weeks, Miss Mary Woodson, 29-year-old mother of 3. She scalds his body with a pan of boiling grits and then commits suicide a few moments later. Yeah, because he rejected her marriage proposal. Some heavy stuff there.
Oh, okay.
And then we have album releases. October 11th, Billy Joel releases his third album, Street Life Serenade. Album peaked at number 35 on the U.S. album charts, eventually selling more than 1 million copies. And Billy's live shows in the 1970s frequently featured the instrumental Root Beer Rag and the short song Souvenir, which was often used as the final encore. That was recorded mostly with session musicians, the last such release until 1993's River of Dreams. Because then he had a band, with him. Joel sang and played piano and other keyboards, including his first work with the Moog synthesizer. And Billy said that he had been touring in clubs and theaters and opening for big acts such as the Beach Boys, thus leaving him little time to write new songs. But he was under pressure and put out a new album after Piano Man. And he also says that he did not have many new songs, hence the inclusion of the instrumentals Root Beer Rag and the Mexican Connection. Now this album it's an okay album. But there's one song I'm like amazed that didn't go farther, is The Entertainer. Because when I first heard this album, that's the song I really like. Yeah. And it only
That's
peaked
one of my all-time favorites.
Mm-hmm. Now the song only peaked at number 34. So, and then interestingly enough, is the back cover features a barefooted Billy Joel sitting in a chair looking cross. But Billy Joel says that he had his wisdom teeth extracted 2 days before they shot the picture. Yeah. Then we got who I was playing today is Tom Waits. Love Tom Waits. You can get past his voice, but he's a great songwriter. October 15th, 1974, The Heart of Saturday Night, second studio album. And the title song was written as a tribute to Jack Kerouac. And the album marks the start of a decade-long collaboration between Tom Waits and Bones Howe, who produced and engineered all Waits recordings until he had left the record label Asylum. And the album cover is based on The Wee Small Hours by Frank Sinatra. It's an illustration featuring a tired Tom Waits observed by a blonde woman as he exits a neon-lit cocktail lounge late at night. Are you playing something?
No,
Oh, maybe there's a delay.
I think there is.
That's okay. I hear myself talking or something. I didn't hear that before. Did you do something different? No? Okay. Now I don't hear it. Can you hear me? Okay. Oh, no, I can't. Okay.
Yes, I can hear you. I think it's the TV.
Okay, that's okay. So Carl Schenkel was the art director, and the cover art was created by Lynn Lascaro. And in the review from the Village Voice, Janet Maslin regarded the songs as tawdry affections of a boozy vertigo marred by Waits' vague lyrics and ill-advised puns on an album that is too self-consciously limited in mood. These writers, man, they were going for the going for an award or something. Demands to be listened to after hours, Maslin wrote, when that cloud of self-pitying gloom has descended and the vino is close at hand. So basically, yeah, vino. It's. I think it's a wine. It's like the cheapest.
Okay,
wine
there we go.
I think she's just saying you need to be drinking to listen to this. The album was ranked at number 339 on the Rolling Stones magazine's list of the 500 greatest albums of all time. Now it was. I don't know where the album went. I don't think it's still on the top 500. Because now Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation 1814 is now in that spot at 339. I tried to find Tom Waits to see if he dropped off the chart, I guess. And some songs to check out on the album are New Coat of Paint, The Heart of Saturday Night, Please Call Me Baby, not to be confused with Carly Rae Jepsen's Call Me Maybe. Okay. Don't be looking that up. And we have another album, is Kiss, October 22nd. Now, Kiss likes to put out albums in October, by the way. September, October, mostly all their albums. And this one is Hotter Than Hell. And it's released, let's see. Yeah, I said October 22nd. And this is what they used to do back then, is they would just ship tons of albums to record stores and count that as sales. But I guess eventually they sold. Because it says it was certified gold on June 23rd, 1977, having shipped 500,000 copies. But I guess, the record stores would request a certain amount. So I guess it could be considered a sale. They're still buying the album.
Right.
And many of the songs on the album were staples of the band, including Parasite, Hotter Than Hell, Let Me Go Rock and Roll, and Watching You. And then they, let's see, the pair, Kiss had to relocate to Los Angeles to record. And the band members, all hailing from New York City, immediately developed a dislike for their new surroundings. Paul Stanley's guitar was stolen on his first day in Los Angeles. So that's not a great welcome. The working title for the album was The Harder They Come. And I'd have to say the best song in the album is Going Blind. I always like that song. Do you know what?
I don't know if I know that one.
Okay, if you don't, you have to listen to it, because whenever I hear the song, I forget what it's about until you hear the lyrics. And it's it's a doomed romance between a 93-year-old and a 16-year-old. I am not lying. It says it in the song. I think he says, I'm 93.
Okay.
I'm 93 and you're only 6. You have to. And the song was written actually by Gene Simmons and Stephen Coronel during their days with Wicked Lester. That was the band before Kiss. The original title was Little Lady. And the song's original second verse lyric, let's see. It was revived by Gene Simmons for their MTV Unplugged appearance, as well as on Alive 4, suggests that the song's narrator is a sea captain addressing a mermaid. That's not in the, I guess, song that's on the album.
Okay.
It says he revived that lyric for MTV's Unplugged. And let's see. Okay. And on August 24th, Ace Frehley was involved in a car accident, and one day later, they had to do a photo session for the album. And due to Frehley having stitches on the left side of his face, he did the photo shoot with only half of his makeup on.
That's interesting.
And despite the intense touring schedule Kiss maintained in 1974, Hotter Than Hell failed to outperform the band's first album and fared considerably worse. This was due partly to the fact that Casablanca's distribution deal with Warner Brothers Records had ended. And the publicity push behind the album was not nearly as strong as it had been for the debut album. So some songs I suggest on this is Parasite, Let Me Go Rock and Roll, Hotter Than Hell, and Got to Choose. I like that song, Got to Choose. And now we're at October 84. Music news, October 1st, a Canadian music video series, Video Hits, premieres on CBC television. October 26th, I didn't even know about this one. Turner Broadcasting System launches Cable Music Channel, a music video channel intended to compete directly with MTV. And the first video played is I Love LA by Randy Newman. And the channel would only last 34 days.
Wow.
Yep. So album releases October 1st, 1984. U2 releases their fourth album, The Unforgettable Fire, produced by Brian Eno and Daniel Lanois. The band wanted to pursue a new musical direction following the harder-hitting rock of their previous album, War, which was in 83. As a result, they employed Eno and Lanois to produce and assist in their experimentation with a more ambient sound. The resulting change in direction was at the time the band's most dramatic. And the album title is a reference to the Unforgettable Fire, an art exhibit about the atomic bombing of Hiroshima. Recording began in May 84 at Slane Castle, where the band lived, wrote, and recorded to find new inspiration. And the album was completed in August 84 at Windmill Lane Studios. The Unforgettable Fire received generally favorable reviews from critics and produced the band's biggest hit at the time, Pride in the Name of Love, as well as a live favorite, Bad, which is another good song. I
love all those songs. That was actually one of my favorite albums for a while.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It was the first album I purchased of U2. Not the first album I purchased, but because Matt had that album. I think he might have had the album before that too, but Matt's the one who got me into U2. I eventually want to do a podcast on U2 in the future. There's a lot we could do.
That would be fun.
Yeah, we'd have to figure out if we're just talking about a couple albums, or because there's a lot there. Now, October 2nd, 1984, The Replacements released their third studio album, Let It Be. I don't know if you're familiar with The Replacements. That was a band from the 80s I loved. So this is a post-punk album with coming-of-age themes. And it was recorded by the band after they had grown tired of playing loud and fast, exclusively as on their 1983 Hootenanny album. You would think an album Hootenanny would be loud and fast. And the group decided to write songs that were, according to vocalist Paul Westerberg, a little more sincere. Let It Be was acclaimed by music critics and later ranked among the greatest albums of the 1980s by AllMusic and Rolling Stone magazine. And let's see. It's ranked number 241 on Rolling Stone's list of 500 greatest albums of all time. No, it was ranked. This is another album ranked. And I couldn't find this one. I'm thinking Cardi B and SZA maybe, and Kanye West knocked The Replacements off the list, in there. Who knows? Some of the newer, greater artists, And so Paul Westerberg's lyrics feature themes of self-consciousness and rejection, as felt by awkward youths, and deal with topics such as generational discontent, unsatisfied, uncontrollable arousal on Gary's Got a Boner. That's the song, Gary's Got a Boner. And amateurish sexuality on 16 Blue. I don't want to know what that is. Now, I was probably 19 when I heard this album, so maybe it spoke to me in some ways. Let's see. And my other friend, Tim, he loved The Replacements, so I'm sure he got me into that band. Now, I saw them in 88 with Tim at the Airport Music Hall in Allentown. It was the Ramones and The Replacements together. And then Tim and I saw them 15 years ago. They reunited after, I don't know how many years, a lot of years.
The Replacements or both of those bands together?
Just The Replacements. And it was in Philly.
Okay.
It was in Philly, and it was down from Yard's Brewery. And it was outside. It's like an outside stage. But they were, in the 80s, they were always drunk when they performed. And I think they performed the best when they were drunk. They even recorded when they were, like, their real early stuff, you can tell. But they were a good alternative, like, college band, They had that anger going, And Paul Westerberg went on to a solo career. He wrote songs for, like, the movie Singles. And I think he did an album with, I want to say he did an album with Amy Mann. I haven't heard his name in a little while now. So I'm going to mention some. There's some other artists from 1984 that I want to mention. I'm not going to go into them, but the Ramones, Too Tough to Die. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, Glorious Results of a Misspent Youth. A kind of a strange band instrumental is This Mortal Coil, which I like. It'll End in Tears. That's a great album. Hall & Oates, Big Bam Boom. I'm sure your mom knows that one. AC/DC,
I'm sure.
74 Jailbreak. Julian Lennon, his debut. Ballet, not ballet, ballot. Yeah, there we go. With a couple soundtracks, give my regards to Broad Street, Paul McCartney, and music from songwriter Chris Christopherson and Willie Nelson soundtrack. Then we're on the 94 music news. October 12th, Jimmy Page and Robert Plant premiere No Quarter, Unleaded, premieres on MTV. And it was an unplugged concert. It featured the two former Led Zeppelin bandmates and was filmed to accompany the release of the album of the same name. So, first album from 94 is a band I really love. And unfortunately, you're never going to see them again. And it's the Cranberries. Dolores O'Riordan passed away a couple years ago. So on October 3rd, 94, they released their second album titled No Need to Argue. And it was their best-selling album, sold over 17 million copies. And it contains one of the band's most well-known songs, Zombie. And let's see here. And on some of the songs, the band decided to take on a heavier rock tone using distortion and increasing the volume level on this album. Drummer Fergal Lawler said the musical change happened because after 2 years of touring to promote their debut album, we had been used to hearing ourselves loud on stage and everything. So maybe that's a natural thing that happened then. During a week off in New York City, the band decided to record demos for the upcoming album. And after calling producer Stephen Street and having him fly from London, they recorded early versions of 6 songs at the Magic Shop recording studios. And lead singer Dolores O'Riordan wrote the track Zombie about the Warrington IRA bombings in 1993 that resulted in the death of 2 children. Now, the cover art, they enlisted photographer Andy Earl, and they hired the same sofa that was featured on the debut. They're sitting on the same sofa. It says the sofa was transported by hand to many locations in and around Dublin, coming to rest in a photo studio in Dublin, where the White Room had been constructed for the cover shot. So I think there's other photos with the couch in different locations. It says each single sleeve featured the band on the sofa in a different location. And the album, the images also appeared in the album's booklet. Now, no one knows where the couch is today. I was led on a wild couch trip and couldn't find it. Maybe it's still in that studio in Dublin. In July 2014, Guitar World placed No Need to Argue at number 41 in their super unknown 50 iconic albums that define 1994. And then we have one more album to end this segment. And it's one I mentioned in the beginning under music news, and it's Jimmy Page and Robert Plant. They released their live album called No Quarter, October 31st, 1994. The long-awaited reunion between Jimmy Page and Robert Plant occurred on a 90-minute unleaded MTV project, which we mentioned, and it was recorded in Morocco, Wales, and London. The reunion event notably lacked the presence of bassist and keyboardist John Paul Jones, thus deviating from a comprehensive band reunion. Jones remained uninformed of this reunion by his former bandmates, and subsequently Jones conveyed his discontent regarding the decision of Plant and Page to christen the album after No Quarter, which was a track predominantly attributed to his compositional prowess. So he helped put that track together, and then they ended up calling the live album No Quarter, so he was a little unhappy. He was not invited. And in addition to acoustic renditions, the album features a reworking of Led Zeppelin songs featuring a Moroccan string band, an Egyptian orchestra, supplementing a core group of rock and roll musicians, along with 4 Middle Eastern and Moroccan influenced songs. Several years later, Plant reflected on the collaboration very positively. The will and the eagerness with Unleaded were fantastic, and Jimmy Page was really creative. Jimmy and I went in a room, and it was, he says, and it was back. His riffs were spectacular. To take it as far as we did, and the tour we did, it's one of the most ambitious and mind-altering experiences. I regret not seeing this tour, because I very well could have seen that tour in '94.
Right.
Now, there's no other memorable albums for me, except I should mention for our listeners, if anyone's out there that's a fan of Korn, they made their debut on October 11th with their self-titled album. But they wouldn't have major success until their third album in 1998. So there we go. And coming up is our last segment, which is another Give It a Listen. And we're going to take a little break again. Okay, we are back. And we have our last segment, which is Give It a Listen. We have another song, and this is another Australian artist. Our last podcast we played Hamish Anderson. He was Australian, or he is Australian. He's still Australian. Now this is Australian Hall of Fame singer-songwriter, KELSEY Chambers. And she not only has a new album out October 4th, but she also has a book coming out October 1st. And her new book is called Just Don't Be a Dickhead. That's the name of her book.
Nice.
Her new album is called Backbone, in parentheses, The Desert Child. And the track is out now. I wanted to play a different song because what's nice, give you a little inside info, is that I get the albums before they come out. You know, I get all the songs. And she has another song about Bruce Springsteen. It's something like, I forget the name of the title, but Bruce Springsteen's in the title. But I couldn't play that because it's not out yet. So, but this song is. Now this is sounds like another bluegrass song, Jeremy. So we have a theme going on today. Now this is what KELSEY. Let's talk about her book. And again, it's Just Don't Be a Dickhead. And KELSEY says, the book is a collection of stories and experiences from my life that I've learned from over the years. Some humorous, embarrassing moments, some experiences from deep, heartfelt memories that taught me unlikely things to consistently draw on along the way. Now, and tell me if this isn't the coolest idea ever. Because Jeremy and I both love music. We also are avid readers. I mean, Jeremy does more audio than I do, but still, we love books. So why not mix the two? To enhance the reader's experience, QR codes appear throughout the book to take them to the story's correlating song from her new album.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So readers experience the book and the album the way she wrote it, which she wrote them together. She wrote the book while she was, I guess, writing the album, the song. And she's actually performing. I don't know if these are. I think they got to be the studio versions of the songs, I would say. At first, I thought they were different versions of the song. Now, she enlisted some, it says, unusual suspects that play on Backbone. Her dad and guitarist Bill Chambers, her guitarist Brandon Dodd, and longtime bassist Jeff McCormick. And in a surprise twist, however, 2 first-timers also joined the fold in the studio. Guitarist Sam Teskey of the Teskey Brothers, and American drummer Brady Blade, who has drummed with Emmylou Harris, Steve Earle, and the Dave Matthews Band, to name only a few. So on October 1st, look for her book. October 4th, the album. So I guess when you buy the book, you can't, I don't know, maybe if you scan the QR code, I don't know where it's going to take you. I would assume once the book and album are out that it's a combo. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe there's a special edition of the book with the QR codes.
I guess maybe the QR codes will still be live even if the album's not out.
Yeah. So go to KELSEY, and that's KASEY, chambers.com for all the info. You can find tour info. She's mostly touring Australia right now. Merchandise besides CD and vinyl, you can find other cool merchandise like the Just Don't Be a Dickhead shirt, tote bag, and stubby. What's a stubby? We call it a koozie in the US. Yes, so you can get your Don't Be a Dickhead stubby.
A can condom.
Yeah, can condom. And one last thing about KELSEY is I stumbled upon a video, and I didn't realize this song is actually on the new album. It's a live track. It's the last track on the album. And it is Eminem's Lose Yourself. And with a full band. And KELSEY has a unique voice. There's, she's singing bluegrass, folk, that kind of music. But I'm telling you, this blew me away. Like, with the band and the vocals, like it builds up at the end, and it's amazing. So look that up on YouTube. KELSEY Chambers, Lose Yourself. So we want to thank everybody for listening. As always, feel free to contact us at nogoodmusicpodcast@gmail.com. And before we go, is there anything else you want to say, Jeremy? I think I have one more thing.
No, apologies. I've had some background stuff going on, so I'm trying to stay quiet. There was church bells, there's been dogs, there was motorcycles, so I've been muted a lot, but I apologize. I'm still here and listening and
otherwise Jeremy would be here, but we, between both of us, Jeremy being sick and I'm just like out of my mind sometimes with things going on. And I'm getting ready. This is the one last thing I want to say. I'm getting ready to go to Kentucky in a week and a half. And it's the Bourbon and Beyond Music Festival. So when next podcast, I'll talk a little bit about that. We got Sting headlining. It was supposed to be Neil Young. We got Beck, Melissa Etheridge, Matchbox 20, Dave Matthews Band, Tedeschi Trucks. New artist that I'm really into is Grace Bowers, who will probably be on one of the smaller stages. She has a band called Hodgepodge. She's already been on Jimmy Fallon. I've been trying to get her to interview. She's 17, incredible guitarist. She doesn't sing, but her the band lead, she has her own lead singer, sort of like Kenny Wayne Shepherd. Kenny Wayne Shepherd doesn't sing. So anyway, but really looking forward to the music festival. We're going Thursday and Friday night. It's 4 nights, but we're only going the first 2 nights because we're old and they'd probably kill us. I'm
excited to hear about your trip.
Yeah. So that was the last thing, and I want to thank everybody for listening today. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook. You can find my personal page on Facebook. You also Know Good Music. We have a page there. Also TikTok. Look for Know Good Music on TikTok. And reach out to us if you're a musician. Maybe we'll give you a listen. So to take us out today is Casey Chambers with the title track off her new album and the song is Backbone, the Desert Child. And until next time, turn off the TV.
Turn up the music.
Oh, my backbone, take me back home. Wherever you are, tell 'em my star will leave the light on. Oh, my backbone, harder than stone. I'ma go east, I'ma go west, I'ma come home. Well, the only road to find her from the tread underneath the tire. If the fox didn't howl, it'd save us now from the bid from the highest buyer.
You've been listening to No Good Music. Exit music by the band 99%. Today's show is produced and edited by Rob J. Lilly and recorded at the Did You Say 7 Studios in Washington, New Jersey. You can find No Good Music on Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, Pandora, and almost anywhere you listen to podcasts.